In Oyo State, supporters and loyalists of the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Tinubu held a solidarity walk in Ibadan. The long walk took them across major roads in the ancient city. Laido Yewole reports.
It was almost a total shutdown in the ancient city of Ibadan as thousands of supporters of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu marched the streets to show solidarity for the APC presidential candidate. The supporters converged on the party secretariat in Okeado and took the rally across major roads in the ancient city. They trekked from Molete, Vere, Mokola and back to Okeado. They carried placards with various inscriptions expressing their love for the former Lagos governor. At the end of the rally, the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate in Oyo State addressed the crowd, calling on residents in the state to vote in Asiwaju as president in 2023.
Today has shown very clearly is that Oyo State belongs to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. It also shows that Oyo State is APC territory. Forget all the noise on social media. This state belongs to APC. We look forward to the election day.
Some party members and supporters believe Asiwaju has the experience, capacity and competence to lead the country to the promised land.
When you are comparing Asiwaju is totally different from other candidates. Asiwaju is in the league of our nationalists, of our Sikwe. When you talk about Tafa Balewa, when you talk about Awolowo, it is Asiwaju is a nationalist. And that Asiwaju is totally different.
Go and look at Lagos. He did it in Lagos. And you're supposed to do it in Nigeria. He is one who has one state to deliver 6 states in Southwest. Forget about it. Asiwaju, we did it all.
Also present at the rally to show solidarity for the Asiwaju Shetima candidacy were major party stakeholders such as senatorial and House of Representatives candidates. Oladio Yewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
Presidential Campaign Council of the People's Democratic Party has announced it will flag off campaign on 10th of October in Akwa Ibom State. The council is also confident that the support of major stakeholders in the party will propel it to victory. Director General of the Campaign Council and Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwal, says the campaigns will be issue-based, and he strongly believes their presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, is well prepared to provide the required leadership for the country. He insists the party is also working to resolve all issues that may threaten the smooth running of their campaign.
The campaign this coming Monday, being the 10th of October 2023 at Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. All arrangements are being made for us to have a very, very successful flag-off of the campaign. Our campaign is going to be issue-based.
Ahead the 2023 elections, youths have been advised to play active role in the exercise in the interest of their future and progress of the country. Stakeholders and clerics gave the advice while speaking at a public lecture held recently in Ibadan. Laido Yewole reports.
According to reports, Nigeria has the largest population of youths in the world, as about 70% of the population are under 30 and 42% are under the age of 15. By this calculation, experts believe that the role of Nigerian youth in determining the next set of leadership in the forthcoming elections cannot be overlooked. At this annual state lecture held in Ibadan, a former resident electoral commissioner in Oyo State was a keynote speaker. He believes love and religious tolerance is fundamental to a nation's greatness. He said these can only be exercised through encouraging political participation in the forthcoming general elections.
So you must live together and Lastly, there is need for Muslim youth to ensure that they use their energy. They are being vigorous to guide people in the upcoming electioneering process. When I say guide, what do we mean? Youth should put up their energy to encourage people to go and collect their PVC. They should encourage people to go and vote without collecting money from them. We must also ensure that people on election day do not allow money to exchange hands.
On Nigeria's economic crisis, politicians called for formulation and implementation of favorable fiscal policies that will aid sustainable development.
Like the speaker here said, the economic aspect of this country needs to be properly regulated. It will be part of what I will be doing there to see that let me give you an instance, the issue of subsidy. People are saying they should cancel subsidy. I am not part of the people that believe they should cancel subsidy. I think there should be a bill that will regulate subsidy, that will now be in terms of subsidizing consumption, you subsidize production.
Present at the event were leaders of various Islamic organizations and notable Islamic clerics. Olaide Oyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
Back to the nation's capital, where the House of Representatives has mandated its Committee on Power to probe the root causes of incessant grid collapse in the country. This is as the temporary chambers of the House gets set to host a Senate and President Muhammadu Buhari to the formal presentation of the 2023 Appropriation Bill. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports. Right, we'll bring you that report in as subsequent bulletins. We're staying in the nation's capital. The Group Managing Director of the NNPC Limited, Mele Kyari, says the escalation of oil theft in Nigeria has prevented the Petroleum Industry Act from performing to its full potential. Mr. Kyari disclosed this when he appeared before the Senate's Joint Committee on Petroleum to give updates on the petrol crisis and interventions made so far. National Assembly correspondent Ijesu Adeoye reports.
Latest revelations by the NNPC's GMD set lawmakers on the edge of their seats. His presentation reveals that the devastating rate of oil theft in Nigeria has reached an unprecedented level, putting holes in the federal government's purse. He says the activities of pipeline vandals and thieves have become a thriving industry, which has pushed down the country's production capacity.
The act of vandals and thieves have brought down our production from what we knew last year to today, hovering around 1.2 million barrels per day. Our major trunk line, the Trans-Namibia 5 line, the NCTL, were all shut down because no one will continue to produce when you know that those production will not get to the terminals.
The GMD says the NNPCL is already making efforts to solve this crisis, but requires the intervention of the National Assembly by way of legislation.
There are companies in the world, and there's technology now that any ship on the sea, you can actually monitor the dead weight of that ship.
It is an unfortunate situation that we have found ourselves, because you have said something here, and I want us to also reason along those lines. I'm not here to commend the military for anything, because the Navy is in charge of our territorial waters. And if we had been part of that team that we visited the terminals, we made to understand that as part of the procedures for oil lifting, the Navy is notified.
And from what is on ground, everybody is feeling this, everybody, apart from the international happenings, particularly what Russia is doing in Ukraine that I don't understand. The whole world is affected. We have external problems, but we have this internal problem here in Nigeria.
Mr. Kyari also told lawmakers that the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna refineries is still a work in progress, and the NNPCL is willing to take them for an oversight visit to the rehabilitated refineries. Ijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
Away from the nation's capital, agriculture has been described as one sector with the greatest economic potential for Nigeria, and that's after oil and gas. With that in mind, members of organized private sectors say they have identified measures that will support growth of the sector. Senior correspondent Sharon Ijaso has details in this report.
Economic experts are gathered here for the 38th Omolayole Management Lecture Series in Lagos. Seasoned economist Muda Yusuf engaged organized private sector on sustainable development of the agriculture sector for national well-being. Yusuf highlighted numerous bottlenecks facing agriculture and how the challenges can be addressed for the sector to flourish.
It's of concern that the sector has not been growing the way it should grow. We are having a whole lot of issues around food security, around issues of support for agricultural, agro-allied industries, linkages and so on. So all of these issues are issues that we need to address in order to ensure the transformation of the agricultural sector.
The host of the event, the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, NECA, commended the consistency of the Omolayole Management Lecture Series as the topics discussed are related to contemporary socio-economic issues of national and international importance.
Our livelihood as a people has been further brought to the fore. Also, with the Russian war on Ukraine, which has created a breach and disruption in the supply chain of critical agricultural produce, especially wheat, the need for a sustainable national policy on agriculture has become more critical to the world at large.
I've suggested that through NECA, all well-meaning people, all compatriots, that's why I keep using the word patriot and compatriot, we should float a think tank, fund it very well, and I'm suggesting a name, Nigerian Industrial Relations Summit and Study Group.
They emphasized that for agriculture to thrive in Nigeria, the youth must be involved while government need to make the sector attractive. The lecture is held annually in honor of Dr. Michael Omolayole, who served as president of numerous organized private sector associations. Sharon Ijaso, TVC News.